King Leopold's Ghost, written by Adam Hochschild. This groundbreaking work delves into the harrowing colonial history of Congo under King Leopold of Belgium. It uncovers the atrocities during the so-called rubber boom in the late 19th and early 20th century. It goes into how European nations grabbed large chunks of Africa, that is the Berlin Conference, and the reasons for their colonialism. But in this case, step forward King Leopold, who described himself as a philanthropy person, and although went on to exploit Congo, he told Europeans tall tales of how he's abolished slavery. This book is essentially about 3 stories, or 4 stories in one. One is that of Edmond Morel, who found movements that looked into stopping the atrocities in Congo. This book also looks at the barbarity of the crimes, the period of exploration and conquest before said crimes, and finally, the way the world had been silenced without acknowledging the atrocities that took place in the Congo. You will also learn that in the later part of the book that many publishers were approached with publishing this book. They said no. And so it gives us an insight into how history has often been silenced. So I would say, before you listen to any other news story or article about Congo, read Adam Hochschild's King Leopold's Ghost. Is Congo, Plunder and Resistance by David Renton, David Seddon, and Leo Zeilig. It is an examination of the history of the plunder and resistance and sheds light on the struggle of the people of Congo. What makes it, however, a very interesting read is that it follows a chronological order from pre-colonial period before ending at just the beginning of the 21st century. Throughout this book, you will encounter characters such as Morton Stanley, Leopold, Lumumba, and Mobutu. But the underlying argument of this book in particular is that the problems of Congo region never occurred within just Congo, but rather within the larger geopolitical arena. The authors have taken pains to point out that simply because the problems of the DRC, or Zaire as it was then known, is oftentimes the stereotypical lack of governance on behalf of the Africans, that could not be farther from the truth. In fact, the final chapters of this book actually alludes to the fact of the complicities of geopolitical powers, Western and also African leaders that are around. It is 243 pages of detailed analysis. And so yes, it's a book worth having.